Hey everybody, it's Mason here again with Upstate Gearheads. Today we're going to dive into the Mazda truck that was in my last video. We got the turbo kit done on the hot side as well as part of the downpipe and where the wastegate ties in. And today we've got it up on the lift. We're going to get all the exhaust piping from the downpipe to the tailpipe done. So I'm going to walk you through that. I'm going to walk through where's a good place to break the exhaust up into different chunks so it's easier to remove, the importance of a flex pipe, that kind of stuff. So make sure to like, share the video to any of your friends, click that subscribe button, and let's get into it. Okay, so just to recap what we got going on here, this is a 93 Mazda B2200. We have a 5.3 with an F-body Camaro pan on it, 4L60E, and we put a Ford 8.8 rear end in this out of an Explorer. As you can see, he's got lowering blocks on it and stuff, and 295 Mickey Thompson ET Streets. So we are going to finish the exhaust piping. We left off here yesterday, so we need to get the 3-inch downpipe done. We're going to snake this down between the frame and the bell housing here. We have to account for a couple things when we do that. We have transmission cooler lines that are going to go up here, so we've got to make sure we leave room for them. We also have the bell housing bulges out here for the starter, as well as our map sensor and our starter wires. Can't get too close to that. And then the other issue we're going to run into is the fuel tank on this sits on the passenger side. So to snake around that, I think what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. We're going to kink to the side here to miss our torsion key. And then we're going to cross over under the drive shaft. And then we can use one of the factory hangers here. So we've got a bunch of factory hangers on this already. They're in good shape. You can see this one has two for the where the muffler was, and another one right at the very end. And we're going to try to use factory hangers as much as we can. So they're here, they're in good shape. Sometimes I like to add like well, I'll show them a little later on when I get them out, but hangers that kind of can bolt to the frame or whatever. But since we've got such a good hanger already here, I'd like to try to reuse these if we can. So conveniently enough, we're going to put the muffler right here as well. That is a MagnaFlow that's actually in the bed of the truck, so now I got to go up and get that. And as well as my flex bellow is down here, but I am also missing my V-bands that are up there in the bed of the truck as well. So with the V-bands, right now our downpipe goes from the turbo all the way up there to here, right? So we're going to have to find an adequate place to break this up, because if we go too long and we're back into here before we break up our section, we'll never be able to get that pipe into place. And I don't think it'll be feasible to feed it up through the bottom, because now that it Y's off to go into our wastegate, that's very wide up there. So we're going to have to snake it down from the top. So I'm thinking, depending on where we are for room, I want to try to put our V-band right here. That way the rest of this can be pretty much one chunk. I'll probably do a slip fit coming out of the exhaust, so the tailpipe will be one section. But that way our downpipe is manageable, can be snaked down through here and installed in the truck easily without having to disassemble anything, or put it into place before the engine goes in if it ever had to be removed. So right now we're going to grab some pipe and start trying to get to this point right here. So now we got our first couple sections of downpipe in, and we're just slightly high here, but I want to try to keep the pipe up as far as possible. So we're going to put a slight angle on this one so we get below our cross member here, and then just keep coming back till our 90. Okay, so as you can see, we've got it tacked together now down to our V-band. So before I go any further, I'm going to go pull it apart. I'll lower this down and make sure A, that it will snake out through the top like I'm hoping it will, and B, there is still quite a bit of flex in it because of tacking it together. So I'm gonna go put a bunch more tacks on it before I finish welding it to make sure that that doesn't move on me. And then I'm going to finish welding it before we go any further. And the reason for that is because this next part is going to get kind of heavy and long as it comes through here. So I want to make sure that this is going to stay rock solid, so that as this, which is going to be a really reasonably tight clearance here, you know, as this fits through here, if that pipe moves around much, you know, it could negatively affect everything here. So I'm gonna go get this done next, and then we'll continue building it back. All right, keep progress going here. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall this. It actually came out way better than I thought it was going to. It certainly seems to fit down in there pretty good. I just wish this V-band on the turbo centered up as well as the other, you know, these other ones here, especially like the wastegate and stuff. Even though the wastegate's got a bellow in it there, it seems to do a better job of centering everything up than the turbo even does. Okay, so now we've got the exhaust done from the V-band back. Instead of trying to go through this pocket here and snake around, Scott here just you know, suggested, why don't we just run it between the cross members? So that worked out nicely. But the next thing is we got to add the bellows, and I think right here is going to be the most adequate place to do it. But Scott, before we do the rest of it, I think what I want to do is we'll try to lay some more out back here, because if we need the extra, so the bellows are like 4 inches long, so we can rather do this two ways. We can cut this and cut 4 inches out and keep this hanger here, or we cut it in half, slide the whole pipe down, move the hanger back, and it gives us 4 extra inches here. So let's figure out if we need the extra 4 inches here first.
So
and then
you probably want to go from the tailpipe. You're thinking,
yeah, I mean, at least hold the muffler up in place right now, you know what I mean? And then we'll
see what we got.
yeah, we'll see what we got. So I think we want to try to keep the muffler reasonably flat, right? So I say we don't need the 4 inch extra length. If anything, we're gonna end up cutting off here so that we can kind of 45 to get it uphill. You know what I mean? And then that gets us pretty close to the top of here. We might even, I might even just fold a piece of cardboard to use as a shim.
To actually get it.
Yep, as tight as we can up there. And then we'll put one of the hangers on both sides.
Okay.
And then that'll hold the muffler pretty stable. So for right now, we'll just go ahead and we'll cut the pipe back here and cut the 4 inches out of it, slip our bellows in, and get that part tacked. And we'll actually, I'll get another hanger out of the box too, and we'll get this one set up. Okay, so we just set the camera down, went ahead and got the muffler up here, and we folded a piece of cardboard in half. So I guess it'd be twice I folded it. So 4 times as thick, using this as a shim just to keep us off the top here. And then our hangers are actually gonna line up just about perfectly on the sides of this. So we've got the muffler supported in place. And so now we'll go ahead, cut that pipe for the bellows, and then we'll just do our little 45 here, which really, the floor under the back of the cab is almost met perfect, so it'll contour right up there nice. The only thing is, how much does the axle come up under travel?
Yeah, you might have to.
Are we gonna have enough clearance over the axle? Part of me almost wishes we had shocks on it right now, because if the shocks barely droop, like if it didn't have a lot of droop, we could almost just go under the axle, but we'll be all right. We'll figure it out. Actually, we know the tires are only, what, 1.5 inches, 2 inches off the fenders.
Yeah. Well,
So we can just subtract that from where we're at. That'll tell us where we're at ride height wise. So, a little bit of math to do there, but we'll get these bellows done. Well, here's the finished product. We got all our header wrap done up front. For the tailpipe here, we just cut a couple 180 open for angles and a 90 here to get us up over the axle, just to make sure we had adequate clearance. On a stock height truck, it wouldn't be an issue, but with the drop blocks that are in this, it's you know, we just wanted to make sure there wasn't any sort of clearance issues. We got the exhaust tip here slash cut on the end, just like you wanted, kind of tucked up in nicely. And all our hangers in the front. It's got a little bit of flex to it. We are going to have to do something here for a little bit of extra bracing on the downpipe, I think, just to get some of the flex out of it. But some of that may go away as we brace the turbo up too. But so anyways, thanks again for tuning in on this one. Make sure you click that like button and hit the subscribe if you haven't. I'll catch you in the next one.